Hi everyone, my name is Cynthia. Let's talk books. And today I have a haul for you all. Mostly romance, but a few non-romance things. So maybe we'll get started with the non-romance things. Yes, I think that's the smaller pile. So at the top of this pile, I have a book called Maman, What Are We Called Now by Jacqueline Masnil-Amar. So this is a book set in World War II France. And I think this is an actual diary of somebody that was lived through it. It's following a Jewish family in World War II France. So you know it's going to be tragic. But this is one that I hadn't come across before. I found out about it because of Bookstagram. So I'll leave the information. I can't remember her name right off the top of my head, but for the person that turned me on to this. And I'm really looking forward to it because I guess you can never read enough tragic stories. But I'm always on the lookout for things that I can use in class that will be interesting and that my students might not have come across before. So I am very happy to have this one. The next book that I have here is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. Everyone's been talking about the TV show. It sounds really cool, really interesting. It's about, the end of days is coming and there is a good angel and a bad demon and they fall in love and stop the apocalypse. I'm sold. My sister read this and also really recommended it. So I am looking forward to reading this one. Next up, I bought this book because of Mara over at Books Like Whoa. This is called A Christmas Party by Georgette. I have read her romance books, or a few of them at least. And it looks like this is a bunch of people stuck in a house and there's a killer among them. I love that premise. So I'm so glad that I picked that one up. Next up is a book called 5 Midnights by Dávila, Cardinal. This is an Own Voices Puerto Rican horror story. And it looks like we're going to be following a bunch of kids. Yeah, alright, Puerto Rican horror. I love this. I've been saving it for being in the mood for it, maybe for October, although I tend to actually not read a whole lot of horror in October, but this sounds really interesting and I am looking forward to it. The next book, I want to read so badly right now, but I have a bunch of things that I'm finishing right now, but it is Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I loved Certain Dark Things and I have been looking forward to this book forever. The release day was while I was on vacation and I was so anxious. I was texting my sister who was house and dog sitting for us. I was like, the package, it's there, go pick it up. And it is a book set in Mexico City, I believe 1920s, jazz age, and it's borrowing a lot of Mayan stories. A road trip with the god of death, I believe, is what we're going to be doing here. And I am here for all of it. All right, let's move on to other romance things. So first, the smaller kind of romance things. One of the first books that I picked up was Kathleen Woodiwiss. The Flame and the Flower. So this is classified as one of those classics of the romance genre. It basically gets the credit for being the first bodice ripper. So I'm going to be doing an assignment with romance novels for one of my classes. So I thought I would pick this up. That way I could, talk a little bit about this with the class. Next is Alissa Coles' A Prince on Paper. So this is the last in the Reluctant Royal series. And the premise actually sounds really good because the main character, I believe, is a virgin and shy. And I think I'm like it. I kind of like that trope of the virgin. So we're following Mia and Johan. And Johan is someone we've met before. Yes, he's been around in the other books, and he's an interesting character, and I am looking forward to seeing what Cole does with him in this book. So I'm actually really looking forward to this one as well. Then I picked up two in the Sometimes in Love series by Melonie Johnson. So Getting Hot with the Scot and Smitten by the Brit. The titles just grabbed me. It's super adorable. And there's a third one. I forgot what the third one is, but I didn't get that one, and I could have, but I figured I'll start with these two, see how I like her writing, see how I like these stories, and then if I'm really into it, then I will pick up the third. But these titles are just too adorable to pass up. Next book is the book everyone's been talking about, Red, White, and Royal Blue. This is going to be adorable, and I am upset that I haven't gotten to it yet, but now I'm thinking I'll save it for kind of later in the year when I need something really great, because the way everyone talks about this and people that I trust, the way they talk about this, I'm really going to love it. So I'm going to save it for when I need that kind of pick me up in my life. The next, another one everybody was talking about, The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I've had a bit of a mixed reaction to Christina Lauren. I really like their writing, but there's been elements in both the books I've read so far that I haven't quite meshed with. Like, I like everything except this one thing. But this one sounds really great. This is the kind of, there's a wedding, I believe, of like their siblings or friends, and now everybody got sick at the wedding, and these two people that don't like each other have to go on the honeymoon. I like that trope, so I'm looking forward to reading The Unhoneymooners as well. Next up was a book that I picked up. It was The Blind Date with a Book from the Rip Bodice. And I think, I forgot what the tagline was. It totally sold me on it. And it's part one of what looks like a what looks like a series. So this is Empyrean Gate by C. Rockward. And this is at the turn of the 23rd century. Liam Boyer's parents led the construction of the Empyrean Gate, an intergalactic spaceway that would make travel possible between Earth and Empyrean, an advanced civilization with the technology to fix Earth's environmental crisis. But when an extremist named Kin sabotages the gate on opening day, he tears apart the two worlds and Liam's family. In the 3 decades since then, Liam has dedicated his life to bringing Kin to justice and seeing the gate rebuilt. And then the other character is Jonah Kabul, who works on one of Earth's trash satellites, assigned to salvage and recycle anything she can from the landfill before it's fed to the sun to be disposed of forever. Romance in space? Sold. Pretty sure that's how they got me. The next book just looks so stinking adorable. This is Ice Cream Lover by Jackie Lau. And it is about a main male character who hates ice cream. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of ice cream discussion in this book. I love ice cream, and sex and ice cream, why not? This is part 2. So this is book 2 in a series. So if I like this, I will go ahead and continue with the rest of the series because this sounds adorable. Then I also bought a copy of Pride, Prejudice, and Other Flavors. I'd already read this. I read it in an ebook, but I was at an event with Sonali, so I figured I might as well pick it up and get it signed by her. She was really nice in person, and she gave us a little bookmark. So I am happy to have this book in my collection now. At that event, Jasmine Guillory was also at that event, and I picked up 2 copies of The Wedding Party. I loved the proposal, and I liked The Wedding Date, so I'm looking forward to reading The Wedding Party. These are not both for me. One is for me, and the other is for my sister, who I was texting with while I was at the event before and after, and she was like, "Oh, I've seen that book, and it sounded really interesting to me." So I was like, guess what? Picking up a copy. So I'll be mailing that to her pretty soon. And then the last book that I picked up was Vanessa Riley's The Bittersweet Bride. This is the first in the Advertisements for Love series. This is set in Regency, England, but it has diverse characters. This series has diverse characters, and I think this is the kind of romance books that I have been looking for my whole time, because Regencies were the books that got me into reading romance. For a while, it was the only kind of romance books I was consuming, but there were never any like diverse characters. It was all white people, and Regency England was not all white. I got into a big hoopda about this on Instagram recently when we were talking about the cast of the Bridgerton series, which is the series by Julia Quinn, because people did not like the fact that a black man was cast as one of the characters. And one of the things they were using was that it was historically inaccurate. So I had to come in and be like, no, there were definitely black people in Regency England, and they spanned a whole spectrum of economic and social backgrounds. Like, it's not historically incorrect to give black people a happy ending. As a historian, it really grinds my gears when these things happen. And just as a human being, like, it grinds my gears when people get mad when non-white people get cast in roles that they saw as white. I'm digressing. The point is, I was so glad to find this. Vanessa Riley is black, and she writes diverse romance Regency novels, and I would like to support her writing, and hopefully I will really like this, because I will totally invest in this series. Yeah, absolutely. So that is it. Those are all the books that I have been buying in July. It will probably be slowing the roll with the buying a little bit, mostly because work's going to start and it's going to get real crazy real soon. But thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.